Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, everyone. It is Ereena George here. I'm excited to be with you today. I'm going to be speaking on a topic that I think everyone should enjoy since it is summertime here in the Western Hemisphere. We are going to be discussing three foods, three foods that you should incorporate into your diet now that it is summer. First food that I'm going to discuss is watermelon. Why watermelon? Basically, it's all water. In the summertime, we're really hot, it's really steamy, and a lot of times people don't even want to eat in the summer. So you think to yourself, what is it that I can eat that will fill me up, that will provide me with some vitamins, that will help me with digestion, that will allow me to be able to not have any issues going to the bathroom later on, that I also enjoy eating? Watermelon. Watermelon is about 97 to 98% water. Even the white rind is good for you. It's actually one of the best parts of the watermelon. Many of us throw that away. However, it's one of the best parts of the watermelon. You should definitely go ahead, and if you're eating watermelon, eat it all the way down to the rind. If you're going to juice watermelon, which you can, it makes for a delicious, nice summer drink. Just watermelon by itself, or if you want, you can go ahead and squeeze some lime in there. Speaking of squeezing lime in watermelon juice, watermelon by itself, just cut up, is also really good if you squeeze some nice key lime on it. It kind of intensifies the flavor of the watermelon. So another reason why you want to add watermelon to your diet, because it is a great accompaniment and it is so diverse. You can include it on your salads, you can eat it by itself, you can actually eat it as a side even with a hot meal. I do that often. A lot of people look at me really, really weird. However, I can eat a hot meal and have some watermelon on the side of that meal as an accompaniment to that, and it helps me get fuller faster, which is what we want, right? We want to get fuller faster so that we're not eating a lot of the really, really heavy foods. So, watermelon is my first choice for something that you should be incorporating into your diet now. The second thing that I want you to start incorporating into your diet is coconut water. Whether you get the coconut water directly from the coconut or if you're buying the coconut water, and I would definitely say buy the coconut water. If you can get it in a glass bottle, that's great. If you cannot get it in a glass bottle, I would say to buy the coconut water that's kind of pinkish. Now, a lot of people don't want to buy coconut water when it's pink, but if you've done any research on coconut water, you know that when it hits the oxygen, the longer it stays out, the color of the water will change. So if you do see a bottle of coconut water and it is pink, never fear. That is actually really good for you. That's what you want. So, you want to incorporate coconut water because coconut water is going to give you the energy that you need. It's great for an after workout drink. It gives you all of the goodness that you need to get back into your body. I'm looking for a word. What is the word? I'm looking for the word, but I can't find it. It starts with a C. Um, I can't really find it right now. However, coconut water, oh, it rejuvenates. So it rejuvenates and it revitalizes, and I'm still looking for that C word. It gives you all of the energy that you need in order for you not to dehydrate. So it rehydrates you. So after a workout, coconut water is really great to have. And not only after a workout, but just to have on a daily basis. It gives you all of the stuff that you lose like when you're sweating. So if you're sweating a lot and you're out in the summer, you need to get all of that goodness back into you so that you're energized, so that you're not tired. So coconut water is great for you to drink. And the coconut. Now I will say this, just like watermelon, and I did not put my disclaimer up about watermelon. Now everyone who follows me, you know, I only eat seeded fruits and vegetables, right? So if it has a seed, eat it. If it doesn't have a seed, ask questions. So when you are out looking for watermelon, you definitely want to get a seeded watermelon. They are selling them now at different stores. But anyway, back to the coconut. So you can even eat the coconut itself. So if you're big on buying the actual coconut, cracking it open and drinking that coconut water right out of the coconut, that's great. And then you also have the rind inside of the coconut, the actual coconut meat. So you can take that, you can put it in smoothies, you can freeze it, You can eat it as is. You can turn it into a coconut cream, so you can put it in the blender with some spring water and turn it into coconut milk, or turn it into a coconut cream if you so choose. Now, speaking of coconut cream, growing up, we used to eat these all natural coconut ices. They were delicious. Never knew how good it was for me. I just knew that the icy was delicious. You can actually take the meat of the coconut, grind it up in the blender with some water. If you want to add your own little sweetener to it, you can add an additional sweetener to it and make coconut ices for the kids. Or you can make um, pieces of ice, right? Make ice cubes, coconut ice cubes for summertime drinks, or just to eat as is. So, coconut is a natural diuretic, as with watermelon. If you eat or drink too much of it, it will definitely go ahead and clean you out. It may clean you out faster than you would like, so don't overdo it. I have a personal story that I will share with you guys. It's funny now, but it wasn't funny then. When I was about 13 years old, my sister, my cousin, and I ate an entire coconut, the three of us. Not thinking that anything was going to happen, I was wrong. Later that night, my stomach was killing me, and I did not know why my stomach was hurting. My stomach was killing me. Later that night, I wound up in the bathroom. Not only was I using the bathroom, but it was, let's just say it was coming out of both ends. Excessive coconut. I ate too much of it for the size of my body. Now, do I still eat a lot of coconut? Do I still eat a lot of watermelon now? Yes, I still eat a lot of watermelon, but I know my limits. I also know that if I do want to move myself in a certain way and move my bowels and have them move in a certain way, how much watermelon and coconut I should eat. So there's a tip for you. You can mix the two. Here's a great summer drink. You can mix the coconut with some of the watermelon, so you can have either the coconut water, or you can use the rind and some of the watermelon and make you a really nice fruity coconut drink. Add a sprig of lime in there. The third fruit or vegetable that you should be eating this summer is kale. I love kale, and you should too. There are two varieties of kale that I eat. I have the regular kind of leafy kale, and then I also eat the Tuscan kale, and I recommend both. Why? The leafy kale is great for salads. It's great to be eaten raw. It's also good sauteed, but I know a lot of salads, when you either go to a restaurant or your favorite supermarket and they have a salad bar, if you look at the salads, a lot of those kale salads are made with the leafy green kale, because they're less tougher than the Tuscan kale. And if you go ahead and rub them with some olive oil and you leave them in the bowl for a little while, they will actually soften up and they're great for salads. Now, the Tuscan kale I like because, unlike the leafy green kale, the Tuscan kale does not shrink when you cook it. So when you cook the Tuscan kale, however you cut it up, that's the size that it's going to remain. It doesn't have that big shrinkage factor. So the Tuscan kale, you may notice, is it's way more green, at least the ones that I buy at my local fruit market. They're more green than the leafy kale. And I like to have the two kind of contrast. Now, the leafy kale I enjoy, and what I would recommend is that you juice it. I recommend that you juice it with some cucumbers and maybe an apple or a pear if you're allergic to apples, and make you a great green drink. Why should you be eating kale? Folic acid. It's very fibrous. So if you're looking to add more fiber to your diet, although it is summer, it's very fibrous. It's great for you. You also, for people who are on a cleanse or on a diet or on some type of kind of change in diet, and you just want to try something new, the leafy green kale is great. The Tuscan kale, on the other hand, is great for stews, for a nice summer stew. It's great to saute on its own, and also it's really good to bake. I'm not sure if you've ever baked kale. However, baked kale with some onions and maybe a little bit of vegetable broth is really delicious. You kind of wilt it just a little bit, and it's great for an accompaniment of a side dish like a roasted red pepper quinoa or something like that. So, again, kale, very fibrous, great for green drinks, great to add to your diet. The Tuscan kale, excellent to add on as a side instead of maybe broccoli or string bean or green bean. Um, Try that Tuscan kale. Now, I say try the Tuscan kale because a lot of people do not know about Tuscan kale. I just discovered Tuscan kale, I would say, a few years ago. So before that, it was always the leafy green kale that everyone would buy. It wasn't Tuscan kale. So you definitely want to try Tuscan kale when you go to your local market. Now, let me take a look here because I'm looking a little bit dark and I'm not sure how you guys are seeing me, but I want to make sure that you're seeing me clear. So you definitely want to try the Tuscan kale. Tip: when you go to the market to buy your kale, Tuscan kale looks a lot like what do they call that? Collard greens. So if you ever go to the market and you will see the Tuscan kale, normally they have it right next to the collard greens because they look very much alike. But make sure that you read the sign for the Tuscan kale. Why am I saying that? Is because Tuscan kale is it's less acidic than collard greens. The collard greens are kind of acidic for the body, so we don't want to add extra acid to our stomach. So you definitely want to try the Tuscan kale. You clean it and chop it any way you like, and again, you can saute it, you can bake it. If you chop it up really, really fine and maybe put it in a food processor, you may get it fine enough so that you can go ahead and add it to salads, but you can definitely add it to stews. It's just nicely chopped up. So there are my 3 fruits and vegetables that you should be adding in your diet today for the summer: watermelon,